This is Mike from Trooperbay. Welcome to part 5 of assembling accurate Stormtrooper armor. Today we're going to assemble the shins. The tools you will need for today are blade inserts, ruler, needle nose pliers, clamps, rag, some latex gloves or nitrile gloves, the butcher's glove for cutting. Depending on whether you're doing a TK or a TD, you're going to need the TK plate or the TD knee plate, or also known as the sniper plate. CA glue, zip kicker, E6000, either or. Some scissors, a lighter, sandpaper for smoothing out the edges. You're going to need 1-inch white elastic. You're going to need the hooks from the Hooks and Eyes sets that are available. They're, the bra hooks. You can find them on my website, size 2. You're going to need 7/8 inch cut strips of ABS plastic, about probably 18 inches long. You're going to need your left inner and outer shins and your right inner and outer shins. You're going to need the drill for drilling holes. You will also need a white thread and needle for sewing the eyes. Okay, to start off with, let's talk about the difference between the shins. On accurate Stormtrooper armor, there is a definite right and a definite left shin. Okay, so if you're looking straight on at someone wearing Stormtrooper armor, this would be the right shin. And the reason why it's the right shin is because the outer calf curves outward, really easy to see. It's very round. The inner part of the shin curves in, kind of like the muscle on your leg. If you flex the front of your shin, you'll notice that it dips in on the inside of your shin. So if you were looking straight on, the curved inner part, this would be the right shin if you were looking straight on at someone. The left shin, which is if you're looking straight on, again curved on the outside. On the inside there's a nice dip. That's going to be your inner shin, and this would be the left shin. Okay, so this is the left shin looking straight on, that's the right shin. Alright, real quick, let's talk about trimming. I've went ahead and pre-trimmed the shins and the finishing strips and the knee plates to kind of speed the process up, but I'll just quickly go over it. It's basically the same as we've been doing if you're following along on this build. 1/8 of an inch on the top, just kind of round everything out so it's comfortable on your calf or on your shin. On the bottoms, you're just going to cut just so there's a little bit of a curvature, and on the backs you want to leave about 1 inch for the eye hooks. I'm going to show you 2 different ways to assemble the shin. One is with an accurate eye hook that goes into drilled holes in the shin, and the other way is probably the more comfortable, easier way, which is just Velcroing the back. I've always done it that way with Velcro, but an accurate way to do it is with the eye hooks. The sniper plate, the knee plate for the TD, which is the Sandtrooper, I just put about 1/8 of an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch tops. And basically you just want to leave enough to where this part is going to rest on the shin, and then this part is actually going to be where the glue is applied to the shin. On the knee plate, this gets glued here, and then it's going to rivet into the sides, or you can also glue it, which is probably a more accurate way of doing it. Just glue it in and clamp it. The finishing strips are cut to 7/8 of an inch. I'll probably have to adjust the length, but after I do, I'm going to round off the edges so that they don't catch on your clothing. Alright, I measured my finishing strip so that it goes from the top of the shin to the bottom of the shin, and now I'm just going to glue it on. I'm going to do that by applying a very thin bead of CA glue down the front, and then I'm just going to put my finishing strip in place. I'm going to clamp it. Got it in place now. I'm just going to hit it with some zip kicker. Let that kick for a minute. Pretty easy. Now I'm going to go ahead and do it on the inside and apply the other shin, other half. If you get any glue on your fingers, you definitely want to avoid touching the outside of the shin so that you don't get glue spots on it. Since this is a TD, if that does happen, I'm just going to consider it part of the war damage. So I'm avoiding using clamps here because the part is small enough to where I can hold it together. I held it at the tops to kind of get that secure, and now I'm just applying pressure to the center. I'm going to go ahead and hit it with some zip kicker to finish it off. Okay, for the outer piece that's going to be decorative, I've cut the finishing strip so that it's just below this edge here and it meets flush with the bottom. And now I'm going to glue that into place. Okay. So the decorative strip is in place. Finishing strip. Here with some zip kicker here. That should be it. Okay, so as you can see, putting the shins together is not real difficult. And you know, like I was saying before, if you wanted to finish this off with Velcro, that's all you'd have to do at this point, and then put the sniper knee plate on, and you'd be finished. So now I'm going to assemble the other side. Okay, both the shins have been assembled, and now we're going to move on to affixing the sniper knee plate. And that's going to be on the right hand if you're looking at the Stormtrooper. So there's two different knee plates. There's the TK knee plate, and then there's the TD knee plate, which is the Sandtrooper knee plate. Today we're going to put on the Sandtrooper knee plate. But just really quickly, if you're putting on the TK knee plate, then what you're going to do is you're going to trim the knee plate so that there's about 1/8 of an inch at the bottom, and just kind of contour it so that it fits your calf or your shin correctly. You know, you're going to shape it so that there's a little bit of room. What you don't want to do is put a 90-degree angle on these things, because, well, any 90 degree on ABS is going to result in a split. So you want to try and round off things as much as possible. But basically how you're going to fix it is you're going to glue the sides and the top so that they line up, and then to make things a little easier, if you need to add a spacer, sometimes I will add a spacer so that the knee plate pops out more. You don't have to do it a lot, just enough to where it's at pretty much the same angle as the shin coming up. And I do that because the thigh will catch on this and it will be up under your thigh. It's very annoying. So if it's out a little bit, it kind of helps you from getting it caught. And that's how you're going to do the TK knee plate. I think accurate is glued or bonded to the shin, and some people rivet them, but I don't think that's accurate. I think it's supposed to be bonded. Other people use the the split rivets. You can use split rivets on the knee plate, and that's also considered okay. So you got three options there. You can rivet it, split rivet it or just bond it with glue. So there's that. Since we're doing a TD today, what I'm going to do is I've built up the back end of the TD plate with just a couple extra pieces of finishing strip to kind of give it some, to kind of build it up so that it'll be glued on flat to the shin. And where I'm going to place it is I'm going to pretty much line this corner up with the middle of the top here. So probably right about there or so. And then I'm gonna center this little diamond pointed area right in the center of the shin, so it'll look something like that. And that's going to be the TD knee plate. I'm going to go ahead and glue that right now. A little bit of CA glue there. All right. If you want to make sure it's really secure, you can even take the CA glue after it's on there and just kind of glob some down in there so that it doesn't come off. You want to make sure it doesn't run everywhere. The other side. This pretty much welds it into place. That way you don't have to worry about it popping off while you're trooping. Alright, so there is the knee plate or sniper plate attached to the shin of the Sandtrooper that I'm working on. For this part you're going to need 1-inch elastic. You're going to cut it into 4-inch lengths, and then after you cut it into 4-inch lengths, you're going to fold it about 1/2 of an inch on each end, and you're going to run that through the sewing machine or hand stitch it. You can also super glue it. I've seen guys just super glue it if you don't know how to sew. And what you should be left with is about a 3.5-inch piece of elastic that we're going to sew our eyelets onto, and you're going to sew the eyelets on the inside of where the seam is here, so that we can put these on the inside of the shins. Okay, all of our elastic strips are now sewn. I've sewn all the eyelets or the eye hooks onto the pieces of elastic, and now it's time to put the elastic inside the calf. I'm not going to drill the shin. I'm not going to drill the holes until these are glued in, because I may not put them in exactly the right spot, and then they're going to be out of alignment. So I'd rather put them in, see where they line up, and then drill the holes accordingly. All right, so there's 3 different places on each shin that you're going to want to put these hooks. Right at the top, in the center, right at the top, in the center, and at the bottom. And line up your seam that you sewed, or the bottom of the folded over elastic. Line that up with the crease in the calf where the line is. Here, you see that line? Line it up there. And then you're going to glue all of this and just leave just a little bit on the end here. You're going to leave the part that's got the seam in it. You're going to leave all that unglued, and that'll be the part that stretches. The rest of it is just to secure the strap inside the calf. And once you've done all that, then we'll go ahead and drill our holes. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these, and then I'll show you when I get back. Okay, now that your hooks are secured, what you're going to carefully do is take your shin and kind of push it in and just lay the hooks on top of the inner part to see where they line up. And then you're going to take a pencil and you're going to mark where they line up. And then with it fully closed, you're going to see, you're going to push the inner part in, and you're going to see how far the hook needs to go in for the calf or the shin to line up the way you want it to at the tops and bottoms. And then you're going to mark that position on the shin. Okay, so there, I know that this is going to be closed the way I want it. If I drill a hole here, here, and here. So that's what I'm going to do now. Alright, so there you go. I adjusted the holes, I elongated them a little bit so that the hooks would slide in a little easier. And there you go. So there's one. So this is an example of using a Velcro closure. This is my own Sandtrooper, and this is just Velcro that's attached. The furry side is on the side facing your calf, so it doesn't cause you any itching or rip up your Under Armour. And the more coarse side is facing out, and it's real easy to assemble or put on here this way. I think the strips of Velcro I cut are about 3/4 of an inch. Alright, so that's it for this episode, assembling accurate Stormtrooper armor. This is the finished calves, or shins, with the accurate hooks inside. Until next time, I'll see you later.